When you get your paper, please put your name on it. And then give me your attention. This experiment that we're doing today will be really fun. So we've learned that we can filter solids from liquids using a filter. We know that we can use a screen to filter big solids from liquids. Okay, today we're going to learn about how different solids react in water. Okay, so today we're going to use some sugar, some granulated sugar, which is this, okay, little small pieces of sugar, and then we're going to use a sugar cube, and we're going to see how these two different forms of sugar will react when we stir them in water. Okay, so we're going to, it's going to be a race, so we're not going to spill anything. Okay, we're going to listen for directions, but we're going to see which one dissolves quicker. And what's your prediction? What's our hypothesis as a class? Which one? We have a sugar cube, and we have granulated sugar, little pieces of sugar. Owen, what do you think?
I think the sugar cube is going to dissolve faster.
Why do you think that?
Because it's not like broken up into little bits.
Okay. Carson, do you agree or disagree?
Disagree.
Why do you disagree? What do you think is going to happen?
Because the small pieces will do it first, but because it would make it easier to dissolve because it's so small, but the big piece probably won't make it.
How many people agree with that? Thank you, Carson. Yeah, you. How many people agree? Carson says the sugar cube, it's going to take longer because it's tight and compacted into one cube, where the granulated salt is in smaller pieces. It's going to be easier for the smaller pieces to dissolve rather than the one big piece that's going to have to break up. Raise your hand. Okay? So Ben, you think the cube is going to dissolve quicker? Who thinks the cube is going to dissolve quicker? Okay? All right, so what you're going to do when we write up our scientific experiment today, I'm going to let you write it up yourself. Okay, we've done a few together. We know what the scientific method is. Who can tell me the first step in the scientific method? Alana? Question. Our question. What are we trying to test? And then number 2, our second step. Will?
Predict.
Prediction or hypothesis, right? What do we think is going to happen? In this case, do we think that the sugar cube is going to dissolve faster, or the granulated salt? And our third step, Tyler? Third step in the scientific method. Experiment. And what is included in our experiment when we go to write it up? Corey? We need to have, starts with an M. Ben, help him with the first one.
Materials.
We need to know our materials when we're doing our experiment, and we need to know what? Our step-by-step instructions on how to complete it. What are those called? How to complete our experiment. Starts with a P. Procedures. So in our experiment, in step 3, we have our materials, Peter. We have our procedures, which are step-by-step instructions. What's the fourth step in the scientific method? Fourth step. Kyle, fourth step.
Record the data.
Data. Good. Record our data. What we have in front of us is our data sheet. Okay, so we're probably going to see our data sheet. And the last step is what? Morgan, what's our last step? Scientific method. We've done our whole experiment. We have our data. What's our last step?
To share with everybody else and make a conclusion.
inclusion, and to share. Good. So who can tell me those 5 steps real quick? Richard, number 1.
Question.
Number 2, step 2. Prediction, hypothesis. Step 3, experiment, which includes materials and procedures. Step 4, data. Step 5, conclusions and share with the class. Okay, good. So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to start our experiment. Listen for directions first. One person in the group. I'm going to pick that person. Is going to go get a tray. There's 4 trays up there. Okay, everybody's going to have a job today. So put your hands down. So everybody, one person's going to grab a tray, come back. Then I'm going to assign one person to fill half of your cup. You have 2 cups. Fill half of each cup with water. Okay? Step 3 is we're then going to observe our sugar cube and our sugar by putting it on our black paper. We're going to make sure when we put the sugar cube, we don't break it apart. We're going to put it on our black paper. Look at it. Okay, we're going to put our granulated sugar on our black paper, observe it, talk about it, and then we'll put them in the water and stir. Okay, so Grace, grab a tray. Cooper, grab a tray. Carson, grab a tray. And Mackay, grab a tray. Make sure you have your name and your date on that paper. Today is December 1st, 2015, and we are 24 days away from Santa. Michelle, you're going to fill each cup up halfway with water. Nathaniel, you're going to fill each cup up halfway with water. Alana, you're going to fill each cup halfway with water. And Will, you're going to fill each cup halfway with water. While we're waiting for our water to come back, what somebody observe? You can start putting your granulated salt, the little salt pieces, on a black piece of paper with your spoon, and start looking at that sugar. With your spoon, use your spoon, scoop it out just a little bit. Savon and Peter, come around so you can see. That's fine. We're going to smash that up. Take and observe. Looking at our granulated salt. Halfway, halfway, halfway. So what does it look like? It looks like tiny pieces of snow. Make sure that you're sharing the magnifying glasses. So we're going to take turns. See that? Don't put it on there. Okay, raise your hand. Tell me what it looks like. Describe the granulated salt or sugar pieces. Carson. Look like little sugar crystals? What else? What do they look like? Describe. Color, shape, size. Okay? I didn't say touch it with your hands. Go wash your hands. Nathaniel. White. Morgan. It's very small, right? Very small. Cooper, did you have something? Anybody else? Any other? Yes, Richard.
It looks like salt.
It looks like salt, yes. Carson?
It looks like snow.
It looks like snow. Yeah, it does. Hopefully it's going to rain soon. It will in Milltown Primary Hallway, second grade. Okay, now we're going to take out our sugar cube, put it on our black paper without breaking the cube. One person, you can pour the excess, the granulated sugar back. Peter, did you listen? Don't break it apart. Don't touch it. Look at it. It's okay. You can pour these small pieces of sugar back in, holding the sides. Okay, our sugar cube should be out. Okay, put it on your black paper. We want to make sure we don't crush our sugar cube. Put it on your black paper. It's okay. Who can raise their hand? Describe what the sugar cube looks like. Color, size, shape. Girls? Take turns. Will?
It's like 38.
Yes?
And white.
Kyle, Richard. You guys want to sit down at your seat? Not participate? Carson, don't touch. It's white. Owen.
It looks like it's from Minecraft.
Okay. Remember, when we're describing it, size, shape, color. Peter, your hand's not raised. Yes, Peter.
When I'm going up far up, it's broken.
Okay. Grace.
It's like gum.
Looks like gum.
Yeah, like this cube.
Okay. Carson.
It's like a snow block.
Snow block. Yeah, like you could build a snowman. A block snowman. Cooper.
It looks like white fur from a sheep, but just small pieces.
Could you say that it's?
Looks like a nice cube.
Could you say that the sugar is tightly compact into a block?
Yeah.
You could say that it's white.
Yeah.
You could say it's bigger than the other pieces of salt. Elena. Listening. Looks like an ice cube, a little baby ice cube, right? Dalton.
It looks pixelated.
Pixelated. Describe what pixelated means.
Little squares come together and stuff.
Okay. All right. Anybody else? Okay. Now, listen. 2 cups of water on your tray. Put them on your tray. Listen for directions. Eyes and ears here. This can be fun, but if we don't do it right, this can not work. So what's going to happen is I'm going to pick one person from each group, somebody new that hasn't done anything yet. Listen before you raise your hand. We're going to put the sugar cube in one of the cups. We're going to pour the small pieces of granulated salt into one of the cups. One person is going to stir 1 cup at the same speed that another person is going to stir the second cup. So we can't, one person can't stir really fast. We got to stir at the same speed. Okay? Tell your neighbor what I just told you about stirring. Okay, listen for directions. Now, Alexis and Dakota, you're going to be stirring and pouring. Okay, so either pick the sugar cube or the small pieces of sugar. I'll tell you when to put it in. When you put it in, listen,